Have you ever felt like you just don't belong in this world? Like everyone around you seems comfortable living a normal life, while something inside you keeps questioning everything. You see things others don't notice. You feel emotions others try to avoid. And sometimes it feels like you carry this quiet, heavy weight inside your soul. People often romanticize the idea of being an old soul. They picture wisdom, peace, and deep spiritual understanding. But what most people don't realize is that being a rare old soul often comes with some dark and painful experiences. In this video, we're going to explore the deeper, darker signs of a rare old soul from both a psychological and a spiritual perspective. If you find yourself relating to these signs, you may be far more different than you think. One of the first and most common dark signs of a rare old soul is a constant feeling of being misunderstood. You might notice that conversations with most people feel shallow while they're talking about the latest trends, gossip, or daily drama. Your mind naturally drifts toward deeper questions. Questions about life, about human nature, about the very meaning of existence itself. Because of this, people might see you as quiet, distant, or even a little strange. But the truth is, you're not antisocial. You simply struggle to connect with conversations that feel empty or meaningless to you. This is why so many old souls grow up feeling like outsiders, even within their own families or social circles. You crave depth in a world that often celebrates the superficial, and that can be an incredibly lonely experience. Another telling sign of an old soul is the ability to see through people with startling clarity. You can sense when someone is being fake or putting on a performance. You notice the hidden motives behind their acts of kindness. Sometimes you can even feel the underlying currents of jealousy, manipulation, or resentment that they try so hard to hide. This level of awareness is often related to deep psychological insight. The famous psychologist Carl Jung spoke about something called the shadow self, that hidden part of our personality where we bury our darker impulses and less desirable traits. Old souls tend to see this shadow in others much more clearly than most people. But this ability comes with a heavy price, because once you see the truth in people, the raw, unfiltered truth, it becomes incredibly difficult to ignore it. The world loses some of its innocence, and you can no longer pretend that everyone's intentions are pure. Many old souls share something profound in common. They experienced significant hardships much earlier in life than their peers. This could be anything from intense family conflict, the sting of betrayal from someone they trusted, or emotional neglect that left deep scars. It could also be situations that forced them to mature far too quickly, shouldering responsibilities that no child should have to bear. While other kids were enjoying carefree lives, old souls were often learning difficult truths about the world. Pain, in its own strange way, has a way of accelerating wisdom. It forges a strength and understanding that can't be learned from books. And sometimes, the people who understand life the most, the ones with the deepest compassion and insight, are the very ones who have suffered the most. Their early struggles shaped them, giving them a perspective that is both a burden and a gift. Old souls also tend to be extremely empathetic, and this can lead to feeling emotionally drained by the world. You feel the emotions of others as if they were your own. When you see injustice, cruelty, or suffering, it doesn't just register as a sad news story. it affects you on a deeply personal level. This can be completely overwhelming. You might feel emotionally exhausted at the end of the day, even when nothing directly bad has happened to you. The weight of the world can feel incredibly heavy on your shoulders. Sometimes, you probably wish you could just turn off this sensitivity, build a thicker skin, and not care so much. But you can't. Your awareness is simply too strong, your connection to the collective human experience too profound. This empathy is a core part of who you are, but it requires learning how to protect your own energy so you don't burn out. Another sign is that you question everything society simply accepts. Most people are comfortable following social rules without a second thought. They accept traditions, cultural beliefs, and figures of authority without much critical analysis. But old souls rarely operate that way. You find yourself naturally asking, why do people behave this way? Why does our society reward certain behaviors and punish others? What is actually true versus what we are just told is true? Even historical thinkers like Niccolo Machiavelli dedicated their lives to studying the darker realities of human power and manipulation. Old souls often develop similar insights just by quietly observing human behavior. This relentless curiosity pushes you to seek truth instead of comfort. You're not trying to be rebellious. You have a genuine burning need to understand the world on a fundamental level, beyond the surface-level explanations everyone else accepts. Many old souls also carry a strange and persistent sense of purpose. It's this quiet, nagging feeling that you were meant to do something meaningful with your life. It's not always clear what that purpose is. Sometimes it shows up as a feeling of restlessness, like you're not quite where you're supposed to be. Other times, it feels like a calling that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. This inner tension can make life feel very confusing. While others seem perfectly content with ordinary goals like getting a good job, buying a house, and settling down, you often feel like you're searching for something more, something deeper. This isn't a judgment on their choices. It's just a recognition that your soul is on a different kind of quest, one that prioritizes meaning and impact over material success. And this brings us to what is perhaps the most misunderstood sign of an old soul. You become comfortable with darkness. As you grow and experience more of life, you begin to understand both sides of human nature. You see the incredible capacity for kindness, love, and compassion. But you also see the shocking potential for cruelty, manipulation, and the abuse of power. Instead of pretending that this darkness doesn't exist, you learn to acknowledge it, both in the world and within yourself. This idea was central to the work of Carl Jung, who believed that true psychological growth requires integrating both the light and the shadow within us. Because denying darkness doesn't make it go away. Understanding it, facing it, and learning from it is what truly removes its power over you. Old souls learn not to fear the dark, but to see it as part of the whole picture of what it means to be human. Being a rare old soul isn't always peaceful. It often means carrying a deeper awareness in a world that prefers simple answers. It means feeling emotions more intensely than those around you. It means seeing truths that others try their best to avoid. But it also means you have the potential to develop profound wisdom, unshakable strength, and a deep understanding of the human condition. And perhaps the real journey of an old soul is not about escaping the darkness, but about learning how to transform it into awareness, compassion, and inner power. Because those who truly understand both the light and the darkness of human nature are often the ones who can help guide others through it. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe share it with someone you know who might also be an old soul. Because sometimes, the people who feel the most alone are actually the ones who were meant to understand the world the most. Thanks for watching.